Hallo zusammen, ich bin Chrissy Angliker und da in meinem Studio in Brooklyn, New York. Und ich werde über das Thema Wasser reden für die Ausstellung, also Gruppenausstellung in der Gallery 94 in Baden, wo ich drin auch drin Bilder habe. Aber zum über Wasser reden, switche ich auf Englisch, weil es fließt besser. Just like water, it flows better. So let me talk about water. So water, to me, has been a lifelong muse. Like it really from the very beginning, and it ebbs and flows. Also wie Ebben und Flut, it ebbs and flows into my consciousness, into my need to dive into it and then out again. So it like really comes and goes with the seasons, with the current life circumstances. Sometimes I need to like dive into that watery consciousness, and then also sometimes I really need to get out of it because it is deep and intense. Because in my opinion, for me, working with water, reflecting on water, helps me reflect about the human condition. And there's so many reasons, and I'm just gonna like talk kind of in a flow because I feel like everything is so connected. But like you know, we as humans, like we're 80 whatever percent water. Like the majority of our bodies is water, and then there's bodies of waters like lakes and rivers and oceans, and you know, just the idea of us submerging ourselves in water, what is left? Like what is left but our thought that keeps us separate from being connected to everything? And you know, so to me, like water is like, speaking about water is like speaking about something literal, and at the same time speaking in metaphor. And to me, that's the nicest way, and also to me that's the most realistic way to communicate, is with metaphorical terms, because then you touch upon like sort of the grounded concreteness that we so long for to stay steady in this world, as well as touching upon all the things that we sense that we can't put our finger on. And so, for example, you know, just talking about water, saying, you know, like water is deep, like water reflects, water flows, and for me also, you know, addressing this body of work. So I have 5 paintings that are going to be in the group show. Those 5 paintings were painted at the end of 2020 into 2021, and you know, water resurfaced, reemerged from the depths in 2020. And first I was, you know, wondering and questioning and being worried about, oh, am I just digressing or no, regressing, because it's such an uncertain time and I want to deal with a subject matter that gives me comfort, and you know, kind of try to think my way through this really free fall of a time. But then once I started painting, it brings me back to truth, because what water helps me do is like the only way I can paint water is like really wanting to become water and embody water and being present in the flow. Because otherwise for me, if I'm trying to be water and connect to water, then the water will start to translate, and the paintings will start to feel like water, versus me trying to imitate water. And So for that, you need to be really present. And also, to be able to do that, you got to really be in your feelings versus in your thoughts. And for me, painting in 2020, I think that was the most powerful realization, that I was actually not regressing into a subject matter that is comfort to me, or that is like, a hit, and like, all those kind of things that, wouldn't want to be your first choice of why you're painting that. But it was really about getting in touch with feelings versus trying to make sense of everything. And to me, working with water, it's never about making sense. It's about getting in touch with what is. It's about really reflecting what is there, and what, contemplating water versus contemplating directly our human condition is a lot easier, because we are in these human suits and we are attached and can feel attacked when we're trying to break ourselves down. But if you have an aid like water that can help you in a metaphorical way reflect on yourself, on myself, on our collective human condition, especially in 2020 and now, and continuing, and also before, that's a huge tool. Also, like, this is a whole other thing, like, so before I got like all like, deep in this sense of like realizing why water spoke to me in this way, it was also like, as a kid, the simple realization that water is a destination. You walk to a water's edge, and that's a destination, because the world, the ground, the solid ground, comes to an end, and this new planet starts, a new planet of water with different gravity, with all these different properties, and it's a Schnittstelle where we get to sit and reflect, and like, basically I feel like deep down, like, our internals like is kind of exploding, because we're connecting to something very abstract, yet it's something that is us. There's so much more to say. Let's see. I mean, it's just, it flows into us and it flows out of us. And like, for example, tears, that's water. I've been like really in touch with that last year and this year. Water is release. Water is receiving. People change when they're at the edge of water. Conversations get so much deeper, so much more interesting. People let loose, like they shed their layers. We become more natural, and I really believe like we become more likable, because we're more in touch with ourselves when we're in touch with our source. So that's it, kind of in a nutshell.